have the director, two directors, Lisa Tedesco and Johnny Kraszewski. And we have our actors who are Mike Alves and Tim Eager. They are all with us here. I guess I'll ask Lisa first because her head's biggest on the page that I have in front of me.
And in real life, too.
No. And I want to ask you, so this project started as a project of the brewery?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, kind of.
Yes and
John,
no.
Stop it. Me and Johnny went to high school together, and I've known him forever, and he owns Armada Brewery here in New Haven, Connecticut. And him and the guys that you see sitting right there do a lot of amazing content for their establishment. And I suggested one day, I was like, if you're going to do a Christmas little thing, I think you should either bring it back nostalgia wise, either like Home Alone or Christmas Story or something like super fun that people can really get on board with and remember the good times. And he's like, well, we're going to be doing Home Alone, so let's do it. And I instantly wrote something cheesy and corny that night and handed it over to him. And that's kind of how it worked. And he's like, well, we're going to do it Monday, so come on by. And then that's it. That's kind of how it happened.
So you shot the whole thing in one day?
5 hours, yeah.
5 hours, wow. Who planned all the little traps? And you just kind of did that in the 5 hours?
I kind of just threw whatever I could in the script, and then Johnny fixed what he had access to, basically. We decided to do the cans over the railing because obviously a brewery has a bunch of those lying around. I mean, he had a hose, so we just threw the water down on the ground. Plastic wrap, that's easy to get. He has several doors that, we can lower down and get, we had Tim's hat get stuck under there. So that was all in the script. A couple of things had to be, flushed out because we didn't either have access to it or it was a little too dangerous. But honestly, we had like a production meeting that night. We're like, all right, we're going to go for it. And then we just shot it in like just about 5 hours. Yeah.
Johnny, you own the brewery, yes?
Yeah.
Have you done other promotions like this?
So we've done things that fell into like the 1 minute, 2 minute realm in the past. Nothing, I think we hit 7-8 minutes on that short. As Lisa said, she missed this one point where it was like, hey, let's get together for a writing session. And then literally the next morning at like 5 a.m., the script is at my email. Like she missed the point of like, we never had a beer. She just gave me the script. And then it was like, all right, I got this. I think we were both ambitious and had that like spunk of inspiration and excitement to create this. So it was all hands on deck right from the moment that it was conceived in the brain. I think we did 72 shots in 5 hours. Right? It was something crazy like that.
It was a couple of pages.
The only scene we actually rehearsed was the car scene because it was negative degrees outside. And so we were like, all right, let's rehearse this inside. And so we have a good premise of it. And then we went out and we shot it. Lisa was in the back seat with the sound and I was out there with the tripod and we were freezing.
Yeah.
And we got it done. And then after that, it was kind of using the script as a guideline. We improvised a lot of it. Yeah.
All right. Let me just say, guys, your movie was really funny. With the casting, how did you decide who was going to be who?
I work with them every day. I know who's who.
I think Tim and I walked into the building and you pointed at me and was like, you're Marv.
Yeah.
And then you pointed at Tim and said, you're Harry. And with a name like Harry, he's got the beard for it. So he kind of has to be.
Tim always wears a hat and like Harry has the hat on. So we thought it was like that, like just character wise, it would have suited well. I mean, Lisa, did you have it in mind who was going to be who?
Yeah, I knew Mike was going to be Marv and Tim was going to be Harry right off the rip. And just to point out, like, I mean, yes, they're actors and they're wonderful actors, but they work at the brewery too. Like they're all connected in the great circle of Armada Brewery. So like, brewers by day and beer bandits by night.
The ending fake out, which I love those things. It's just funny. Where did that idea come from?
Right there on the spot.
We were having fun with like doing all the gags and stuff. And then the way we filmed it is like we started outside and was working our way upstairs to the end of the script. And then we kind of just like stopped down for about a couple of minutes and said, how do we want to wrap this thing up? And that's kind of what we came up with, like on the spot with just a little bit of talking. It was
like a lot of the things we've done in the past are like these moments of like suspense or excitement, action that lead to the fact of like just having a beer together. Mm-hmm. And we did that with our Halloween thing as well, where like there was all this stuff and what's going on. And then it was just like the characters having a beer at the end. And I think naturally they found the flow of that too. At the end is like, how do we wrap this into the fact of let's just have a beer at the end? No pre-written dialogue, just point and shoot the camera. And actually that was take 3. Take 3. I was like, that's good enough.
It's late.
Yeah. We're not very formal in our process.
And we always make sure there's beers to be drank in the scripts.
We prepare to improvise. I feel like as much as planning goes into it, we leave a lot of room to also fix it at the end.
I thought it was all rehearsed. The fact that it was just improvised and you did it in 5 hours? Yeesh. You guys definitely have talent for this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
All right, and one last one. Would you do another? There was a second Home Alone after all.
I think Lisa's already got a script going.
Honestly, yeah, I was like, okay, well, our fans, since we're in New Haven, Connecticut, they're gonna like want the Beer Bandits to go, wreak havoc on the Yale campus or something. So like, you never know. Maybe we'll have a round 2 for this year's Christmas.
Lost in New Haven. Yeah. There it is.
I'm talking to Marv and Harry here. Have you guys been actors for a while, or are you just brewers / actors?
Only when Armada needs somebody on camera. That's the extent of my acting career.
Tim's on the brewery side. I'm a bartender here. In the past, I will step in front of a camera if I trust the people who are behind the camera, which is a testament to Johnny and Lisa as directors for taking someone who doesn't usually do this and making them feel comfortable enough to be silly and do silly things and send it out to the world. I wouldn't even call myself an actor. I'd say more of an impersonator. Because I don't have a method. I just kind of see what others do. And I'm like, that seems like it'll work.
I'm going to take it that you've all seen Home Alone many, many, many times.
A couple of times.
Yeah, once or twice,
What does the film mean to you, Lisa? Did you want to be that kid or did you not want to be that kid?
Like Home Alone has such a nostalgia for me. I was born in 1985, and right when that film was coming out in 91 is like the peak year of like the kids movie for that, like our generation. So like when Macaulay Culkin was, doing his mischievous like things, like we all were that kid watching it in the big screen, wanting to be that. So now it carries into like now my late 30s. And Home Alone is on my top list for like need to watch holiday movies. It's close to my heart. The second one's great too. Love it. Usually I watch them back to back. Third one, not so much, but I love the Home Alone movies. They're John Hughes. He's perfect.
You're the writer. I heard these gentlemen claim that they improvised some things in this. I want to know that line at the end that, yes, we're here to protect our castle, but you weren't open yet. Was that improvised?
Yeah, the whole ending.
100% it was improvised. And actually, Lisa came up with that dialogue in the moment, something like that. We were just kind of brainstorming, like, how should my response be to the fact that like these guys are pissed that we just beat the crap out of them? Yeah. I want to say, because we had a couple different dialogues and what my response was going to be. Remember, there was 3 takes,
right?
So it was on the third one that they ran up, and that's when we had the actual finalized reply. Yeah.
People on social media reacted to this. Is it a big hit as it should be? People come in all the time and they go, that movie you guys did was just unreal. Like, who made it? And we're like, we made it. And they're like, what? They're like, they thought we hired some big film production.
It's strange for me and Tim because not only just having it reach the people it's reached, but Johnny took it upon himself to also make some wanted posters of me and Tim and put them around New Haven where the brewery is. So even people coming in for the first time just to have a drink would be going like, oh, hey man, glad you guys finally, busted out of jail and stuff. Tim and I aren't kind of used to that. We're going, excuse me? And they're, oh, right, the film that we put out. It's been strange for me, definitely. I think Tim's ran into that a couple of times too.
A couple of times.
Been recognized for something before. It's kind of cool.
Does you ever see the wanted poster in Home Alone 2 is like, escape? So I made recreations of that, of these two in our bathroom. I did mugshots with the light. And they did old we had
the boards up.
The board up, and we mimicked that off of when Jim Morrison, New Haven Police thing.
Oh yeah.
So I took like that look, gave them literally printouts on a sheet of paper. Harry has a beer and Mark wants a beer was their name. And then I went around town and I hung up about like 50 signs all throughout New Haven. So people were coming in, like people would see them, like they were scared. Like, so these criminals escaped, only to find out it was beer. And so people would come in and be like, man, that sign had me going.
How many beers were harmed in the making of this film?
If by harmed you mean drank, 4 or 5,
Dozen.
Yeah.
Well, the ironic thing is that we did have to fill Tim's trunk with all those cans.
Those were empty. Those were empty.
So we
cans.
did have to empty quite a few cans to fit in the trunk before.
Well, those cans were water cans. So we filled up a bunch of cans with water, and we had to label them. So no beer was harmed in that process.
Oh, right. Not many.
But if you're talking about in between takes, and loosen
It
up.
stayed warm outside for the outside takes.
So since I've got the Beer Bandits and one of the co-directors on screen right now, John, what have you learned about yourself through the making of almost Home Alone?
You can create things with an extremely low budget that make people laugh, and you have a lot of fun, and you just build the bigger bonds with the people around you. Every time we make something fun, like the one thing we do is when we watch the product is like, man, that was awesome. Like we successfully made something.
I would say the same thing. Like I said before, I think it's more of a testament of the kind of people that Lisa and Johnny are. Tim and I have been friends for decades, but I don't think we consider ourselves actors. But they made us feel comfortable enough and create an environment that was fun, and the camaraderie was there, and creating that sort of environment to be able to create art or whatever you want to call it that way is really important. And I know there's times where you need to be serious and get the job done, but have fun and celebrate the little victories. Otherwise, what's the point, you know?
I think I learned about myself that I can act sometimes, so long as there's a good script, good people, as long as everything else is great, I could probably manage. It's about who's around you.
You did good, buddy.
And you can do great stunts.
Yeah. All real, by the way. We got very banged up.
So that there's a scene that we had filmed it to script, and then Mike had gone and goes, hey, can we do one more take? I just have this thing I want to throw in there. I was like, sure. It was when you guys are like, all right, you be sneaky. And then Mike does like the roll, the tuck and roll. You're like, what the hell are you doing? And you're like, said be sneaky. Like that was totally unscripted. That was not part of it. It was just walking away from the car. And then we threw that together, and that ended up being like beyond everything.
What I learned about myself is that in my filmmaking experience, I take a lot of time for prep and shooting. And when Johnny was like, all right, we have like 6 hours to do this, I'm like, that's not going to happen. Sure enough, if you're on each beat with each person and you're just flowing with everything and having a good time, it could totally happen. We threw in a lot of slapstick and a lot of, me hiding out in the backseat of cars with a boom and, all that kind of stuff. So I learned that my control freakness can simmer down a little bit.